Hello and welcome to this occasion, which I certainly didn't want to have, but I need. Everyone has, and everyone sometimes faces this challenge. I'm just wondering now, hopefully everyone's seated down there. I notice there is a couple of seats on row J. I think it is 32, 33. I know these things because I used to be working the picture theatre in Oamaru. I was the ice cream boy, but hey, I was pretty close to the usher, and I knew them all, so it was pretty well done there. So it's good to see you all have turned out to feel well in my life, and also to celebrate what I have in my life. I've had 62 years plus of sometimes happiness, sometimes bliss, sometimes sadness, sometimes miss. But life goes like that, and you can't alter the fact that you are going to have mood swings, you are going to have your ups and you're going to have your downs. Everyone does it. I am no exception. There's a lot of people here can attest to that. A few years ago, and somebody said to me, not a few years ago, I'm a little bit confused, but a few days ago when I was diagnosed with the cancer, Timothy said, right, Dad, he says, we've got to organise this. What's on your bucket list? And we've got to try and clear it. And I said, well, Timothy, to be honest, nothing. I said, I have done and been to most people's bucket lists, which is going to a country which is doing other things. To be a matter of fact, to jump out of a perfectly good aeroplane was a nutty idea, and why people won't even do it, I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the plane. Why jump out of it? It's also very cold up there. So those things don't. Bungee jump, hell, I'd break the bloody rope and fall in the water. And not that one heavy, but that's the way I feel. And I've been to a lot of countries. I've been around the world 3 or 4 times. I've been to exotic places. I've been through the contractors. I've been to factories and all over Europe, Japan, and as I say, I have had a great life, and we've done a lot of things. I've done some pretty low things too, like with jobs. I worked in Sydney as the street sweeper at North Sydney Shire, and my actual run was through the North Shire, through Luna Park and down the swimming pool there. That was my run, and through the actual North Sydney. So I've gone from being a street sweeper to a managing director of a reasonably successful firm, which was unfortunately sold and carried on, and then probably did one of the things I've always wanted to do, was own a pub, and it was a very successful time and a great time, a hard time, but absolutely loved it. Wouldn't have done it without the help we had. It was fantastic. The Contractors Federation has brought me into met a lot of people, a lot of high up people in New Zealand and a lot of people overseas, being all the suppliers. And I was vice chairman here in Canterbury for 3 years, I think it was, for Stuart, and then chairman for 3 years, which they couldn't get a third person after the 3rd year, so I went again. And also I was in the National Federation as a national councillor for until I sold the business in 2001. So it's been a great asset to what I've done, and it's a testament to the contracting of New Zealand. It's talking about machinery and trucks. The line-up out there today is magnificent, Murray. It's Daniel and all the drivers. It's a credit to you guys. It really is. I mean, I know for the fact that Murray's had to pull a couple of $1 million out of his pocket just to get those shiny little rims and aerials all over the places, and 5,000 lights that light up the North Pole. But hey, they do look good. Just keep up the good work. But there's a good bunch of good drivers. Once again, road metals has been my life since I was born. North Tay road metal, but carried on. And then, as I said, I have had a lot of jobs in between. But road metals was always the parent job. It was always the company job, always there. So that was great. I'm not going to bore everyone with thanking everyone, but especially family, because that take too long. But I maybe sort of want to say thank you to my sisters, both Julie and Charlotte. Julie, you and I were very close when we were younger. even though the opposite sex, we didn't seem to, I don't know, when you're kids you don't worry about that and you just go out and play. I was playing dogs, you were playing cowboys. So it worked both ways, and I think we've both got very fond memories of those younger days, and it was those days that moulded us and from what our parents were instilling. As I said, Brent was a few years younger than we were, Mary and I, and unfortunately Brent 6 years, and 6 years is actually quite a long time. And when you were that young, and Brent went to different schools, he didn't, unfortunately, never went to Waitaki, which is a bugger. But anyway, he went to I think it was the Otago Boys, and loved every minute of it down there. And Brent, all I could say is your father would be absolutely proud of what you have achieved in the mine since Stan passed. The mine, as we all know here, the mine was a duck, and it was never going to be a cow. And look at that, he's changed it from a duck to a cow. And Brent, that takes some guts, it takes stamina, and it takes a lot of nerve. And I really commend you on what you've done there, and I know that you'll supersede even what you've got now. So congratulations, Brent, and I wish you all the best for the future. Murray, same thing. Murray, what you have done with Road Medals is truly astonishing and truly unbelievable. Like when Stan passed, once again, there wasn't a lot there, and we were deciding what we were going to do, and it was hard. And Murray and I are very close in age, but very far apart as foes. But we argued a little bit as brothers do, I suppose, and it's not the ideal situation. But once again, what you do, it's the fact is that. We loved each other, we certainly did, and I think we both knew that if we had have both gone into one company, it would have affected not just Murray and myself, but affected our spouses, would have affected our whole lifestyle and everything else. But getting back to it, Murray, what you've done there, as I said, is absolutely unbelievable. I know the staff have got a very large majority to do with that. Some of that staff, as you know, with Bill, 42 years, a lot of them over 40 years. I can remember way back to the days when, in the early 60s, when we started driving in our school holidays. A lot of those people, they're still, mentors. I had a lot of mentors. Alan McDowell would be my biggest mentor, followed by John Murphy. And John and I did a lot of contracts in the crushing, and we did a lot of work elsewhere. Elizabeth and Timothy, Elizabeth, you've 4 lovely children, absolutely gorgeous. You're a very good mother. Keep up the good work. The boys are rowdy, but the boys, a little bit of discipline. You'll get there. No worries at all. I know the boys will. Hopefully you've got a big photo of Papa so they can see that photo and say, well, that's my Papa. He was my mentor, though unfortunately he wasn't. But you're a little bit young, unfortunately, and sorry that I'm going to miss you. And I'm very sorry I'm going to miss you. Timothy. Yep, a little baby boy. I don't know. You've always been there. I know everything I do. You follow like a shadow, and hey, I don't mind that at all. I thought it was great. Wherever we went, you went. The first day I took the digger back, it was the Pound Road, and you sat on there, and one load under the truck and the digger, and I was waiting. You were coming back, and I said to you, "Do you want to come back in the truck?" He said, "No, I don't want to go in the truck, Dad." He says, "Oh, I'll just stand here and wait." He says, "I need to shovel that bit over there." Well, little did I know, his shovel went inside the digger. And at that stage, I think he must have been about 6 or 7, I don't know. No, he's older than that. He's got to be 10. But anyway, so that's what he had just been watching, what control I was pushing, and then all of a sudden got in. Now he's one of the top operators in Canterbury, if he wanted to, and I think they've discouraged him, but he could go into the competitions and go far. But that's not their purpose, Tim. Tim, the purpose is to do well at work, to get your attributes up, and to do that you've got to do the work, you've got to do the time. I know you're doing it, and it's coming out well. So keep up the good work, Tim, and just remember you are Francis, and you've got the Francis name and your legacy to the Francis name at this stage with the Francis contracting. So I wish you very, very well. Christopher, exactly the same. I'm very proud of what you've done, very, very proud, as I am with the other children, but very, very proud. What you're doing now is a huge gamble from what you've got, and I commend you once again on it. I hope it works out. I believe it will. Lenny's a lovely girl. Couldn't ask for anything more. The 2 little children, absolutely brilliant. They love you, you love them. I can't see a problem. I just hope it works out and Bali's not too hot for you, and you can live in Bali and it works. So, Christopher, I wish you well. As I say, what you've done come from nothing. Well, not nothing. You've come from a background of contracting with engineering, and now you're out on your own in the world, and you own a lot of assets. You're very. So I do congratulate you on that. And as I said, to get back to everything else, the two women in my life, really, as my mother, I feel sorry for your mum. I know it's not easy losing a child. I think that would be the worst experience in life, would be losing your child before you actually go and meet the maker. I don't know who I'm meeting. I don't know whether I'm going up or down. I don't know that. But I do know that whoever I meet will take me in with their arms. And Mum, I feel sorry for you. I really do. I'm sorry that I'm leaving you. Well, no one wants to, but I just look after yourself. Keep them bones going and put some weight on and live whatever life is left. I decided not to have chemo, radiation or any other drugs for the fact that I wanted quality of life of the 30 days that I had left. So I was adamant that I wasn't going to let drugs stand in my way. Hence that. So Mum, just relax. You've got children to look after you. In your age, you need them. And now to the most important person that has been in my life. How do you say goodbye to the person that you have lived with for over 42 years, who you lived next door to when you were a child? I married the girl from next door, and I mean, it's pretty unreal. They talk about it, but I physically do. I mean, I did it. I married the girl next door. 42 years and 3 children later, and 8 grandchildren. Oh look, it's once again with married couples, a few ups and downs, but we've always been there for each other. We've always supported each other, and we've been through a lot of thick and thin. We counted up last week how many houses we had shifted into since we've been married. That's just since we've been married, and it ended up at 44. So that's a lot of houses to shift. That's a lot of furniture to move. That's a lot of. Well, actually, to be honest, we didn't really get much junk because we never stayed in one place too long. And then that does include the motorhomes. We lived in 2 motorhomes for a period of 4 years between the two of them. So we did that. But Karen, I don't know. You've stuck by me. You've through thick and thin. I don't know how you have done it. And sometimes I don't know how I've done it with you. But I'm easy to get on with. Always was. Karen, I don't know how to say goodbye. I know that the children will look after you. I know that. I know that. In my place, they'll be there. Timothy, Christopher, unfortunately, it's a long way away, but he'll still look after you there. Timothy's round the corner. He's going to be a successful contractor, so he'll be able to also look after you. You're in a beautiful little house now. We managed to purchase a house when I knew I was ailing, because my aim was to make sure that Karen was safe and secure after my demise. I really. How do you say goodbye? I love you to bits. I'm proud when we walk down the street and you're beside me. I am that. I don't show my affection in a lot of ways as a lot of guys don't, but you know that I have always loved you. You know that I've always been true to you. It's hard to say goodbye, and I know I've got to. But look, I know I'm well over my time limit too. Sorry, Ian. But I have things to say, and Karen is my biggest bee. I know that I had trouble saying that. As I said now, and so I'm proud of you. I'm pleased you are my wife. I'm everything. Sorry, Ian, as I said, over the time limit, but I had to say some of those things, Ian, and I hope I haven't bored Jesus. I mean, that long over the time limit. Sorry. As I said, when you finish from here, you go and look at those beautiful trucks outside, those brown and white. Brown and white was always standard, although the brown and white has changed a lot from brown and cream to cream and brown to cream and white and cream. But it's still been the basic 2 colours. And I remember the first day, I'm going too long, first day I took my little race mini out to the track, it was brown and white with Francis Construction all over the side. And the other drivers got such a shock and told me to repaint that bloody brown out or they weren't going to race against me. Well, I won every race after that. No, I didn't. Anyway, thank you all for coming. Farewell, everybody. I won't meet you again, but you may come and see me from where I reside. which it's going to be washed. It's going to be right beside here, beside the farm. So Yaldhurst. So yeah, truckies, you can wave to me in the morning, and I'll if you hear anything bad coming, that's me. I'll be telling you off. Don't you worry. No dust, boys. Please keep the water on it. All right. Okay. Thank you all once again for coming, and appreciate it. And Murray's probably got a few words to say as well, Ian. So thank you.